G'day guys, how's it going? I'm Aaron Whitnell, this is ACWSport, and now that the week 1 of the Champions League is over, it's time to get back to focusing on the Premier League. And here are my predictions for week 5 of the season, starting on Friday night, Bournemouth versus Brighton. And after a very, very tough start to the season, I think this is the week that Bournemouth will finally pick up their first 3 points of the season. Even though Brighton come into the game following their first ever Premier League win, I just think Bournemouth with home advantage will be too strong for Brighton. I'm going Bournemouth 3, Brighton 1 in my prediction. On to Saturday, and the first game of the Saturday games is Crystal Palace hosting Southampton, the 12:30 kickoff. Roy Hodgson's first game in charge as Palace manager. And even though they've brought in a new manager, and obviously there'll be a lot of hype around it, and everyone will be excited and hope that this will be the first game that Palace can finally get some points on the board. Sadly, I do not see it being that way. I think Southampton are going to run out 2-0 winners, making Roy Hodgson realise just how tough the job is that he's got to do at Crystal Palace, especially with the 3 games they've got coming up over the coming weeks, away at City, United, and also hosting Chelsea as well. But yeah, I reckon Southampton will pick up the points here, and 3 points that they need as well after a disappointing result to Watford at home last week. West Brom then host West Ham in the first 3 o'clock kickoffs, and I'm going for a 2-2 draw here. West Brom coming in off of their first defeat of the season. West Ham coming into the game after their first win of the season. And yeah, I just think this will be a fairly even game. I think West Brom will want to bounce back. West Ham will want to build on their first win. And that's why I think the points will be shared in this sense. So yeah, I'm going 2-2. The fact Andy Carroll's back for West Ham is a big, big thing. And I reckon that could really play advantage for them picking up a point at the Hawthorns. And a good point it will be. Watford versus Man City. Now, Watford have made a fantastic start to the season. Silva's got them very well organised. But sadly, I just think City are going to have too much power for Watford. So I'm going Watford 1, Manchester City 3 at Vicarage Road. Huddersfield versus Leicester. Huddersfield, again, made a very, very good start to the season, but suffered their first defeat of the season away at West Ham on Monday night. Leicester have been very lucky in some of their games, picking up some very close defeats, unfortunately, to the big boys, the likes of Arsenal, Man United and Chelsea. But I think they're going to have too much strength for Huddersfield here. So I'm going Huddersfield 1, Leicester 2, an away win. Liverpool-Burnley, it's been a tough week for Liverpool, getting hammered at Manchester City and then drawing midweek in the Champions League. But Philippe Coutinho is back to fill in for Mane's shoes, and I reckon Liverpool will get back to winning ways at Anfield. So I'm going Liverpool 3, Burnley 0. I'm predicting Salah to get on the score sheet again because he loves a goal at the moment. Firmino as well. And who knows, maybe Coutinho will start on his first return game to the Premier League. But yeah, that's what I think will happen at Anfield. So 3 points there for Liverpool. Newcastle versus Stoke. Both teams will come into this game full of confidence. Stoke obviously holding Manchester United to a draw. Newcastle with a couple of great wins under their belts. And I think, again, the points will be shared in this. I'm going Newcastle 2, Stoke 2. And then the final game on Saturday sees Tottenham host Swansea at Wembley Stadium in the 5:30 kickoff. And after ending their Wembley hoodoo against Borussia Dortmund in style in midweek, I'm predicting it to be another very good game at Wembley for Tottenham. I'm predicting a big win for Spurs. I'm going Spurs 4, Swansea 0. I just think Spurs will be full of confidence and really want to blow Swansea out of the park and send a message to the rest of the Premier League that Wembley is going to be a lot tougher than teams think it's going to be to come to and get points off of Spurs. On to Sunday and the big games of the weekend. The biggest one being Chelsea against Arsenal. Now, after their hammering at Anfield, Arsenal papered over the cracks with a win at home to Bournemouth. But I honestly think that they're going to get badly beaten at Stamford Bridge. They always seem to struggle at the Bridge. They don't do well against the big teams, and I think it's going to be the same old story at the Bridge again this weekend for Arsenal, piling more pressure on Wenger. I'm going Chelsea 3, Arsenal 0. Big defeat for Arsenal, in my opinion. And again, it will just show that they're not going to mount a big title challenge. And then the final game of the weekend sees Everton travel to Manchester United. And again, Everton, even though they've made a lot of signings, they did make a fairly decent start to the season. They've crumbled a bit in the last couple of weeks, losing to the likes of Chelsea and Spurs, showing that they're not doing very well against the big boys. And I think they're going to struggle again. I'm predicting 3-0 to Manchester United at Old Trafford. I think Lukaku will score against his old team. I'm not predicting a goal-scoring return to Old Trafford for Wayne Rooney. And I'm going to go with Martial and Rashford to get on the score sheet for United as well. So those are my predictions for Week 5 of the Premier League. Please comment below and let me know if you agree. Let me know what your predictions are as well. As always, I'm Aaron Whitnell. This is ACW Sport. Please don't forget to subscribe to the channel, and I will see you after the weekend to review all of the action.